first, let's jump into our headline topic. According to an EU study of a sample of 576 European influencers, only around 20% of them consistently disclosed that the content they posted was sponsored advertising. While most of these posts were about beauty, fashion, fitness, food, and travel products, some of the ones that are most difficult to quantify.
Yes.
At least 119 of these influencers, so in excess of 1 in 5, was promoting alcohol, unhealthy food, potentially hazardous medical treatments, gambling, and financial services such as crypto trading.
I would be really interested to see the percentage breakdown because I bet you a lot of them are in those last two.
Well, man, I don't know. Alcohol industry is like kind of low key still a huge industry.
That's true.
And
I guess, and in my circles, I hear about the gambling and crypto trading stuff a lot, but maybe that's just because it's my circles.
And there have been so many regulatory crackdowns on alcohol advertisement over the years.
Yeah.
Like, some people might not know this. I don't know if this applies to other jurisdictions, but I know that in Canada, at least, you can't show people drinking alcohol in a commercial.
Yeah, they just like hold it.
Yeah, they can hold it. It could be nearby while they're like dancing and being cool.
Oh, by
that wasn't
campfire.
it. That was just dancing.
That was not cool.
That was not being cool.
Yeah.
I could. Okay, I'm gonna try. Hold on.
There's no point.
I'm gonna try.
You really don't have to. Oh, you're. That was what I was expecting.
I was trying to look cool.
I thought you were going to try to dance and look cool while dancing. I didn't expect a pose.
No.
The pose was epic, though.
Yeah, look cool is
about... The pose
about
was kind of sick.
The most I could even try for.
I thought you were going to bust out the flexing tips that you did before streaming. If you're trying to look cool. Trying to make the muscles look big.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so cool, dude.
Yeah. But I'm so cool I don't have to say it, because if I said it, then that wouldn't be cool.
That wouldn't be very cool, dude.
Yeah. Hold on. No, I gotta do the thing. I gotta mash the arm, make it look bigger. Yeah, just gotta.
I don't even work out. My arms are just huge.
Yeah, they're just like they're huge. Hold on, I gotta pull the shirt tighter while I also move the.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
I can't breathe deeply right now. Don't worry about it.
The European Commission commented that this exposes a need for modern, robust legislation to protect consumers from hidden advertisements. While the influencers were unnamed by the study, so unfortunately you won't be able to dig in and find out exactly who was doing this.
But yeah,
at least 358 of them were earmarked for further investigation. They will reportedly be contacted by national authorities to advise them to follow current rules, and further enforcement action will be taken as necessary. And I know I said earlier in the show, for those of you who, for whom sarcasm is not immediately apparent, I am not surprised by this at all.
Sorry, I thought you were done talking there for a second.
No, I mean, go ahead.
We've collectively, you probably significantly more than me, but we've collectively effectively caught other people doing this by seeing sponsorship opportunities come across our desks, and then seeing those exact talking points for that exact product in that exact way, in that exact point of the video,
at a similar time frame.
Yeah, be released on sometimes multiple other people's channels, and then having them not being disclosed. And that's happened the whole time. Like, I'm sure that's happening now. That was happening back in 2012.
Well, remember, the rules didn't even exist when we started. Yeah. I can't remember who it was. It still drives me crazy because it was such a just brazen example of what was obviously paid product placement to me. Someone did like a mailbag episode where they opened packages from viewers or something, and one of the things they opened was a tablet or a laptop or something, and they talk about how amazing it is for exactly the amount of time that they were supposed to talk about it from a campaign brief that we saw from that same brand.
Wasn't it this?
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't a tech creator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a non-tech creator that was just doing a mailbag episode. Whoa, look at this!
Wow, it happened to be this thing.
Wow, this is incredible! Look how incredible it is! Look how much
know all these talking points.
battery life it has.
Yeah.
Well, let's try it. Let's try this feature that nobody in their right mind could possibly care about, and that was pre the disclosure requirements from the FTC. You know what's funny about that whole FTC thing was there was one big bust. They went after Microsoft around the launch of the Xbox.
It's always Microsoft.
The Xbox, well, yeah, I know, right?
Poor Microsoft, man.
Poor multi-bazillion dollar company. Let's feel bad for them.
There's going to be some new AI law, and they're going to smash Microsoft with it because of OpenAI, and then
Google's going to be like,
oh, it's cool, and then all these other companies going to do the same thing and never get touched by it. It's going to happen.
You're not wrong. So
that probably came through the mic.
Sorry, where was I going with that? Anyway, the point is that you're right. So the FTC introduced guidelines requiring influencers and online personalities to disclose anytime that money had changed hands for placement. I shouldn't say placement, because I think technically product placement is still not covered. If you don't say anything about it. Hold on, I'm supposed to use the YouTube stream tagging thing. Hold on a sec, guys. Oh no, my mic's live. God, that looks like a nice bottle though.
Wow.
Yeah, so if it's just there, I don't think there's anything that requires you to do or say or disclose anything. But if it's something where there's where it could be perceived as an endorsement, or it could be perceived as an actual review, as an unbiased opinion, then you were told, okay, there has to be a clear disclosure. It has to be within the first X amount of the content. It has to be audio visual, so that if someone's just listening or just watching, they can't miss it. And ever since that came out, we have studiously adhered to it.
Yeah.
And it's been extremely frustrating because, as far as I can tell, for a lot of companies and a lot of influencers out there, other than that initial bust on the Xbox, I believe it was the Xbox One X, and people were playing games on Twitch and not disclosing that they'd been paid for it, Microsoft got like a pretty hard slap on the wrist. It wasn't nothing. And then I haven't
never heard of it
about
since.
A single enforcement case since, even though this is something that is obviously still taking place on an enormous scale. I mean, we've had other tech influencers call it out, talking about all the sketchy offers that they get in their inbox to promote something without disclosing it. I can only assume that there are spaces where this kind of thing is more common. We haven't seen as much of it, as far as I'm aware, in the tech space compared to what we have at times in the past. But in spaces like, financial services such as crypto trading and gambling, there is a bit of a tendency for the participants to be less sort of aligned with regulatory bodies. I think is that a fair way of saying that without sort of overstepping and accusing anybody directly of anything? And I guess what's really frustrating for me, as someone who does actually disclose sponsorships, is that the entire online media industry has absolutely nobody to blame but themselves. Like we were given an opportunity. Things were getting out of control, 8 years ago or whenever it was that the FTC published those guidelines, and that's American only. Here's a fun fact. In Canada, I am not technically encumbered in any way by FTC guidelines. We do have a regulatory body, but it's not law. It's just guidelines. I forget what they're even called because they're irrelevant. Someone reported us to them, and they investigated us and found that the report was bullshit, because of course it was. But even if they had found us to be, misrepresenting a sponsored talking points as our opinion or whatever the case may be, they still would have had absolutely no teeth to do anything to us. But the way that we saw it, when the FTC guidelines came out, that was an opportunity for everyone to get on the same page and disclose things in the same way to level the playing field. But as it is, it's really frustrating because I actually put a couple of comments in the doc here from our last video, from the video we uploaded yesterday, the all Logitech setup. One of them is, Logitech must have paid you a lot to show that stupid cloud handheld again. That is how much the trust is eroded. Yeah. I explicitly said of the cloud handheld, explicitly said, Logitech offered to sponsor content on this thing. I talked about how stupid it was. I told Logitech I'll be happy to take it, but this thing is too stupid for me to do a sponsored video about. I got it in my hands and I did a review of it. I ended up actually liking it. No money changed hands. I was explicit. This isn't something that's like, I left it open to ambiguity. Maybe Logitech paid, maybe they didn't. They did not. And still, that's what we're looking at. You know, wow, this channel's getting more greedy and shilly with every video. Remember the one certainly sponsored by Intel where they didn't once mention power efficiency? My friends, man, it's been really interesting watching how desperately people are trying to like to got him these days. That video was missing a couple of things that would normally be present in a laptop review. Would you like to know why?
Why?
Because it wasn't a laptop review. So,
I mean, I looked at this video, I saw the title and the thumbnail, and I was like, oh, we did like a sponsored video with Logitech. I clicked on it, I skipped through it, I checked the description and was like, oh, we didn't.
It's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Back to the Intel thing. So, the reason that we didn't do a battery life comparison was because our comparative laptops were not chosen for their similar, you know, watt-hour sized battery. Any number that we would have presented would have had enormous asterisks on it. It wasn't the point. What we were doing was we were looking at Core Ultra. We wanted to look at GPU performance in particular because that's one of the areas where it has improved a lot, meriting MSI releasing their Claw gaming handheld with ARC graphics, which was a big surprise to me when I saw it at CES. We also wanted an excuse to kind of demystify the name, criticize the name change. The fact that someone could watch that video where we basically say that Intel's new naming scheme looks like they generated it with AI. They obviously have absolutely no idea how sponsorships work. Do you have any idea how much Intel would have spent on this branding initiative? Yeah. For them to go and spend money to undermine it? Are you a fucking idiot?
Spend money for us to be like, ha.
Are you actually fucking stupid? Is the question you need to ask yourself. The other thing that we didn't include was the power consumption. And another one, people were like, got him! We got him! It's because on Intel Arc, that Intel CPU is rated at up to 65 watts, whereas the AMD one that we compared it against was 35. So, they were just trying to pull one over on us.
Yeah.
It's a configurable TDP, my friends. It was running in the mid-30s the whole time. Chillax.
Got him.
It's okay. And so, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I just don't really know I don't know how to deal with it at this point. The incredible distrust that exists. It doesn't seem to matter what we say.
Yeah, because they're not watching.
There is going to be a certain group that no matter what, if you say anything positive about anything, they're going to go, well, it's obviously paid. And everything else, all the other context that exists around it, explicitly saying it's not sponsored, not having any, sponsored hashtags or calls to action or URLs or all the things that are part of sponsorships and how sponsorships work. With all of those things missing, people are going to not be able to discern, because apparently 80%.
Yeah, so like knowing that, why would you?
Why would they believe anything?
Yeah. You would be a fool.
I don't
so.
Exactly. And so if I'm to address, this cynical person, right? Obviously, living and breathing, being in this business for over 10 years, to me, sponsored content is obvious.
Yeah.
Disclosed or not, it's obvious. If the production values suddenly change in the middle of a video, gee, I wonder why they spent more time on this. It's obvious. But to most people, it's not.
They're probably not going to say the entire thing was AI generated if it's sponsored content. But yeah, I don't know. I would be pretty sus if this was what was going on. I don't watch reviews in almost any of the areas mentioned. So I don't think a lot of the content that I watch has this going on. But if I did, I would be concerned about it for sure.
Yeah, it's really tough. They're not watching; they're just reading the comments. Well, there's the problem.
No, there's
no.
But actually, though,
it was a zing.
I get it, but like I do highly suspect a significant amount of them aren't watching, or at least aren't watching the whole thing. Like click on the video, watch like 10 seconds, comment.
I mean, that Logitech one, that's such a surprising take though, because we immediately dunk on Logitech for their stuff being really, really expensive.
It's very expensive.
Like our setup, I think we made it to like the $6,000 mark, which didn't include a computer or a monitor. Like it was just, okay. We did have some pretty goofy stuff in it. Like we had these, I forget how much they were. They're like $800 Bluetooth speakers or something. But we
also, if you were paying Canadian prices, there seems to be a pretty wicked markup right now. It was not 30%. I think it was closer to like 70 or 80% higher price in Canada to buy a Superlight than it was in the States.
I can explain that.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know if this is still the case, but back when I was managing Logitech, the Logitech product line at NCIX, one of the problems was that Logitech's distributors in the country were just kind of trash. And a lot of the time they wouldn't have enough stock, or they wouldn't have good pricing on the product. So a lot of the time what you're seeing is a listing that's just pulled from the Disty inventory feed rather than actual inventory that you've negotiated pricing with from Logitech and are holding in your own inventory.
This is Logitech's website.
So, this is Logitech's website.
Yeah.
Okay. Problem number 2 that existed back in the day is Logitech's pricing for the Canadian market was often pegged to extremely unfavorable exchange rates. So we would be able to get Logitech products through a reseller in the States for cheaper than we could buy it directly negotiated through Logitech in Canada. So when I was at NCIX, the majority... I mean, this is all statute of limitations. See you later, buddy. The majority of the Logitech product that we moved was gray market that I bought from United States distributors, imported at additional cost, and then sold up here because other than having a different part number, they were and no French packaging, they were exactly the same product. And Logitech, being Logitech, there are good things about them too, always honored the warranty for it. So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
We would just buy gray market product.
They've always had really good customer support.
It would just be cheaper, and then our customers would be happier unless they were Francophone, in which case they would, why do you not have a pricing? Yeah. Or whatever French people sound like. Probably not like that.
Wow.
Please don't get mad, AJ.
I think their pricing has changed since I shopped for my mouse.
and
not even that long ago.
And canceled. Remember on the pre-show when I was saying that we would not be unemployed by the end of the show?
Yeah.
I take it back.
The French people are coming for us.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really long walk. And they'd have to cross a border into another country to get here, so.
Yeah.
Got him. Okay, that's probably not helping.
AJ is here. Oh no.
Oh no. One of our developers.
It's not that late there. Darn it.
Well, sort of. I don't know.
It's only 10 there.
Anywho,
Were you saying that on him being a developer?
yeah, he's infra, but like
he totally can though.
I know
and did a lot back. In
I know
the day.
he can, but that's why I said sort of, because it's like, well, I don't know, sort of.
Yeah,
he does a lot of things.
Yeah, he does.
The point is the Great Yellow Paint debate. Oh wait, did we? Okay, he just threatened to kill the stream. AJ, there's nothing I can do to stop you other than to apologize. Here. This is the problem with developers, is they have too much power. Sorry, infrastructure and development. AJ, please do not turn off this stream. Think not of me. Think of Luke. Think of Dan. Think of our live studio audience. And also Dan was there.
Oh, man.
All right.
It would be funny, though.
Dan, don't encourage him.
Oh, man.
You know how hot-headed French people get. I mean, Francais. I mean, wait, show.
Oh, man.
Show Ted.